It's Ron Brown with Tech for Seniors. You do the math. It's going to cost you money. Yes, Google Photos is changing. June 1st, you'll be paying for storage. But you have until June the 1st to get all your pictures uploaded to Google Photos. Well, if you're like me, you've probably left it to the last minute. What are you going to do with all those photo albums you have? How are you going to get those pictures into Google Photos before they start charging you? Let me show you how to do that. In this video, I've taken a photo album and scanned it into Google Photos in just 13 minutes. How can you get all those old photo albums into Google Photos by June the 1st? Let me show you how to do that. The problem is we have a lot of old photo albums. These are the photo albums on my shelf in my bedroom. They haven't been looked at in 40 years. But today I scanned 153 pictures into Google Photos in 13 minutes. How did I do that? Well, first of all, here's the photo album on the left. And I'll show you how I went through that and did this. And they were scanned into Google Photos, which you'll see on the right side. And I labeled the album Family 1984. What to do with old photo albums? Well, what I found, since I hadn't looked at this album for 40 years, was that the color pictures are degrading with time. So it's probably a good move to start digitizing your photo albums. Who wants to see these old pictures? I haven't looked at them in 40 years. What's the point? I have to learn how to use complicated software, Photoshop, all that stuff. I can't be bothered. What if you don't have a scanner? It's going to take a lot of work. Well, I have to remove the photos from the album. Will it damage the pictures? What if there's non-glossy cover over top of them? All these questions make it an undaunting task. Let me show you how easy it is. Now, one of the advantages of digitizing your pictures are you can have some fun. My daughter Jennifer on the left side 40 years ago. 1 week ago on the right side, she's now 40 years old and she's cooking me dinner. Interesting. I did a Facebook post with Gail and I said, who is this? And it was amazing the comments we got. So digitizing your old pictures can be a lot of fun. You can share them with people and get some interesting feedback. Most of us think about taking our pictures from our photo albums and scanning them into another program, then uploading them and transferring them into Google Photos. This pretty much is not the way to do it now. This is very laborious and time-consuming. So this is not the route to take. So the solution, it must be fast. 150 pictures in 13 minutes. Wow. It must be simple. Well, you just watch this video and I'll show you how to do it. And there's no cost. It is free. And again, we're not going to be using a scanner. So what do you need? Well, you need a smartphone. You need Google Photos. You need Photoscan by Google. And you need a helper. A helper is always a good thing to make this go real fast. See if you can beat my record of 13 minutes. How did I do it? The trick is coming up. So the first thing you have to do is you have to go and get Photoscan by Google Photos. This is available for Apple and Android. Today I'm going to show you at the Android store how to go about that. If you watch the screen to the left, you'll see that I am now logging onto the Play Store. I'm now searching for Photoscan, and you'll see it come up. And there it is, Photoscan by Google Photos. Select that, and that's what you want to install. There are many Photoscan programs out there, so make sure you get Photoscan by Google Photos. Now, installing Google Photoscan is very easy. Now, it is a separate program or a separate app, but once you install it into Google Photos, it's part of the Google Photos menu. So let me show you how that is. Here I am opening Google Photos. If you look at the three-dot menu, this is the Google Photos app on your phone. You will now see at the bottom, you will now see that Photoscan was part of the Google Photos menu. Now, once you open Photoscan, there are only two settings, and this is important to know. I've identified the two settings here. This is the anti-glare feature. We'll talk about this in a minute, and this is the anti-glare feature on, and this is the anti-glare feature off. Why is this important? We'll talk about that in a minute. Now, let me show you a scan that I did, and this happens to be me when I was 1 year old, and that's my mother, and that was 67 years ago. Amazing how black and white film stays so good. So what we're going to show you now, scanning this with Photoscan and using the anti-glare feature as it is on. So you'll see I'm starting Google Photos. And you'll see in a minute, you'll see the Photoscan come up, and now we are going to scan this picture. So you hit the center button and start to scan it. You hold your camera over to the top of the picture, and you see what happens is there's 4 dots that come up. You take and move the little ring over the 4 dots, and this is the anti-glare feature. And it prevents, it allows the picture to be taken without any glare. And there you have the picture above here, and that's how you take it with the anti-glare feature on. Now let's look at what happens if the anti-glare feature is off. We're going to open again. We'll open Google Photos. Again, you'll see the Photoscan menu down here, and we're going to open the Photoscan feature. Again, we come back to the picture, but notice this time the anti-glare is off. So we just took the picture, and that's it. No 4 dots, just boom, took the picture, and again, here I am, and that's Mom, and the pictures look exactly the same. So why not just take a picture of the photograph? So on the left side here, you'll see a picture was taken with my Pixel 3 camera, my smartphone, and you'll see I purposely took it at an angle and left it uncropped. This is how, if you took a picture, it could look in your camera. Using the same angle, the same phone and camera, but this is done with Photoscan. Photoscan not only does it crop it and it adjusts the exposure, but it also adjusts for any tilting in the camera. So it makes a very accurate picture for you. So the trick, and how did I do this? It's in the settings. You want to turn off glare reduction. The reason for that is it's going to take too long to get those little 4 dots each time you take a picture. You want to turn off the light setting as well in the camera. You want to use available light, and we'll talk about that in a minute, and it's always good to have a helper. Now, if you look at this picture here, you'll see this is Gail, my wife, and that's of course Jennifer, and you'll see that when I was going around the house taking some test shots to get the light, over on the right side you saw there was too much light coming in through the window. We had to find, you don't need a lot of light, but it should be done through the day and should be done with daylight. And you have to find somewhere in the house, often the kitchen table, where you have some natural light coming in that isn't too strong so you get a glare like there was on the right. And I found a place in our house that was just perfect.
And that's how I did the one to the left. Here's the helper. Here I am going through the album, 150 pictures. I was able to use the Photoscan non-glare feature as I was taking the pictures. And Gail turned the pages because I had to do it in 13 minutes. And here's some of the pictures that it turned out. Sometimes you're going to need further editing. And the example here is, this is a picture, and you'll see that this is Google Photos, and we can click the auto correct feature, and this you'll see corrected some of the color in the picture, and then we're going to save it. So after you do this process, you may require some further editing. In summary, this video shows you how to quickly get your pictures scanned into Google Photos using Photoscan.
It's Ron Brown with Tech for Seniors. Well, there you go. If you want to save some money, you better get this done before June 1st. That's how you do it. Let's get going. Have a great day. Bye now.